They're calling it a working lunch, and Turkey's Prime Minister has a lot of information to digest. That's because there are several new proposals from the EU on how to end the refugee crisis. Ahmet Davutoglu is meeting leaders from the European Union in Brussels. Now, EU member states have agreed on a set of proposals they're offering in return for Turkey's help. More than 1 million refugees have set out for Europe in the past year, many risking their lives. In the latest incident, the Turkish Coast Guard has picked up dozens of people at sea on their way to Greece. The growing number of people trying to reach Europe only increases pressure on EU leaders to reach an agreement with Turkey. But there have been several sticking points. Let's take a look. Now, the deal would require refugees who arrive in Greece from Turkey to be returned to Turkey. In exchange, the EU would accept taking in a different asylum seeker selected from one of the Turkish camps. The EU is also offering Ankara money up to $6.6 billion, but several member states want that reduced. Ankara wants visa requirements lifted so Turks can travel freely to European countries in the Schengen zone. Finally, Turkey has asked to speed up talks on membership of the EU, but some European leaders have warned such concessions can't come without Turkey making some changes. Well, Simon McGregor-Wood is at those talks in Brussels. So, Simon, there's speculation that a deal may soon be reached. What can you tell us? What's the latest?
Well, we have had some developments here in the last few minutes, Kamali. In line with EU traditions, they've been associated with leaks from unnamed senior EU officials, but Mr. Davutoglu has left the building. He's concluded the first part of his day with the announcement that, as far as the Turkish side is concerned, that they are broadly happy with the draft as it exists at the moment. What's happening now is the 28 EU leaders have been called back in by Donald Tusk, the head of the EU Council, the basic facilitator and master of ceremonies of this negotiation, and they are now going through with a fine-tooth comb this deal. The general feeling here is that we are moving towards a deal, a successful conclusion of these very complex negotiations. We don't know very much about what's in the final draft other than the basic points that you've outlined. There may be some variations. The use of language, of course, is critical in these very delicate diplomatic negotiations, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of wording we get. One clear thing that has emerged is that if this deal is signed off by the EU, there'll be an agreement announced later, of course, on Friday, and the deal itself could be implemented as soon as Sunday, March the 20th. That is a lot earlier than people thought. But that is all to be confirmed, but March the 20th could be the possible start date if it's agreed.
Well, Simon, for now, thank you very much.